Have you ever been treated like you didn't belong in your own family? Like no matter what you did, you'd never be good enough. That was my reality. My sister was the golden child, adored no matter how cruel she was. And me? I was the shadow in the corner, blamed for everything, loved for nothing. But what happened years later, when my success made them come crawling back, will leave you speechless. Growing up, I learned my role quickly: take the blame, stay quiet, disappear. If my sister failed a test, my fault. If she lost a friend, also me. Even when she broke something, somehow I had pushed her. And my mom? She believed her every single time. I thought if I worked harder, stayed out of the way, maybe one day they'd see my worth. But nothing changed. The night everything broke was when my sister failed another class, and instead of owning up, she screamed that I had ruined their lives. And then my mother repeated it: "We'd be happier without you." I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I just packed a bag, walked out the door, and no one stopped me. Not even a glance. That was the night I stopped being their daughter, and started being my own person. I left with no plan, no safety net, just a couple $100s I'd saved from tutoring. I rented the cheapest motel room I could find, sat at a flickering desk lamp, and asked myself, now what? All I had was one skill: studying. I'd always been good at tutoring, helping others understand tough subjects. So the next morning, I walked into a cafe, bought the cheapest coffee they had, and used their Wi-Fi to apply for online tutoring jobs. The first months were brutal. Instant noodles for dinner. Sharing an apartment with strangers who didn't even learn my name. But even in that chaos, I had something I'd never had at home: peace. No one yelling, no one blaming me. Client by client, my tutoring business grew. From 3 students, to 10, to dozens. Eventually, I earned enough to rent a tiny studio apartment. It wasn't much, but it was mine. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I belonged somewhere. But I knew trading time for money wasn't enough. So I studied marketing, learned digital tools, and poured everything into creating my own course, the ultimate exam prep guide. At first, sales were slow. 1 here, 2 there. But then students started raving about it, sharing it online. Suddenly, everything changed. My sales tripled, then quadrupled. Within months, I was making more money than I had ever dreamed of. I moved into a high-rise apartment. I traveled. I built real friendships, ones not based on obligation or blood. For the first time, I wasn't just surviving. I was thriving. And then one morning, my phone buzzed. 6 missed calls from Mom. 8 from my sister. After years of silence, after telling me I ruined their lives, now suddenly they needed me. My heart pounded as I stared at the screen. Whatever they wanted, it wasn't an apology. When I finally picked up, my mother's voice trembled. "Sweetie, please, we need to talk." She hadn't called me that in years. Then came the truth: they were broke. Bills overdue. My sister's tuition at risk. "We need your help," she whispered. I felt a mix of satisfaction and rage. This was why they were calling. Not because they cared. Because they needed me. "You really think I'll help you after everything?" I asked. Her voice cracked. "We know we messed up, but we're your family. You can't just leave us like this." But I could. And I did. "I don't owe you anything," I said, and hung up. The messages kept pouring in. Begging. Apologies. My sister even claimed she was trying to change, but I couldn't believe it. Years of pain don't vanish with a few desperate texts. Then one evening, there was a knock at my door. My stomach dropped. Through the peephole, I saw them: my mom, my dad, and my sister, looking exhausted and broken. I opened the door just enough to see them. "What are you doing here?" I asked, my voice sharp. Mom's eyes filled with tears. Please, just hear us out. We're sorry. We don't know what else to do. You're the only one who can help. Anger surged through me. You had years to fix this. Years to call, to apologize, to care. And now you show up because you need money. My words cut through the silence like a blade. They pleaded, but I slammed the door in their face. The sound echoed through the room, and for the first time, I felt powerful. They didn't deserve me anymore. Weeks passed. I never heard from them again. And that was fine. Because I finally understood, you don't owe your life to the people who broke you. You don't need their approval to succeed. I built myself without them, and I will keep building. The truth is simple, stop giving to people who never gave you anything back. Some doors are better left closed for good.